Good morning, everybody. This is Lara from Pure Elliott Wave. I've had from more than one source people ask me to make a comment on this particular wave count. I think this is Bob Preachter's wave count. But anyway, this is the wave count people have asked me to make a comment on. It's extremely bearish. It calls for the all-time high for Bitcoin to be the absolute end and for Bitcoin to crash possibly to nothing. Now, I had a similar wave count back here in 2017, and then it was somewhere around 2019 in here where I said, actually, that's wrong, and I think we're going on up to new all-time highs. And I ditched my bearish wave count and went with what was my bullish alternate at that time. So I've been here before myself. I do acknowledge it is possible that Bitcoin could crash to absolutely zero and never be seen again. All things are possible, okay? So, however, with that said, this is why this is not even an alternate for my Bitcoin analysis. I cannot share with you my wave count for Bitcoin because that's by subscription only on my website, and I update that every Monday. And if the wave count changes during the week, I'll give my membership an updated chart for the daily count in comments as well. I did that this morning. But I'm going to tell you why I think this is not the right wave count. First of all, the proportion of this primary degree second wave, and you can move it all down 1 degree as well. I think he might have it all 1 degree lower, but this primary degree second wave lasting 5 months and being an absolutely huge crash, if you take off the semi-log scale, you can see what percentage of the market, 93.9% that crash was. Let's put it back on so we can actually view the waves. This huge crash lasting not 5 months, I think is in the same proportion with something like this and this. And so I don't want to label this 1 degree lower than what's happened in here. So I wouldn't label this and this at the same degree. I'd label them separate degrees, although this is possible. Now, the second thing is I think there's a triangle in here. A, B, C, D, E is a beautiful looking triangle. So this wave count, because you can't see a triangle in a second wave position, has to ignore that triangle. So that's the second problem I have with it. The third wave looks pretty good, yep, and that's a nice third wave. The fourth wave looks okay, and the proportion between 2 and 4 is good. And this impulse from here to here, yeah, I would definitely count from this low to this high as a completed impulse, and I wouldn't try. He's also acknowledged that this is problematic. I wouldn't try and see that, and I wouldn't try and see 4 continuing. The proportion is much better if you see it like this. Now, here's the other reason why an extremely bearish wave count, I think I'm not going to go with anything that's this bearish, and this is why. I'm going to zoom into what happened in this month. I think it was January, February this year. Let's look at what happened in here on the daily chart. I've gone over this behavior extensively in a previous video. I'll see if I can find it and give a link to it in the description box down below. This is parabolic growth. This curve that you see on the daily chart, and this is on a semi-log scale. When you see this parabolic growth happening on Bitcoin, this is a feature, it's like a stamp of this is a bull market, because if no matter how hard you look, you will not find parabolic growth like this in a bear market rally. So what this wave count says is, even though you've got parabolic growth here, this is actually a bear market rally. I've looked over Bitcoin's bear markets in great detail on the daily chart, looking and looking for parabolic growth in a bear market rally, and I can't find it. And I absolutely certainly cannot find it as perfect looking as this. So I do not think this is part of a B wave. With my extensive analysis of this particular market, I'm going to all but discard this idea. Now, this is possible, and I could be completely wrong. I mean, I've been wrong before. I could be wrong again. I absolutely admit to that. This chart has a series of higher highs and higher lows. That's the basic definition of an upward trend. In order for that basic pattern to be broken, you need to see a new low below March 2020, 4106.98. While that has not happened, that basic pattern of higher highs and higher lows remains intact. And one of my maxims that's gotten me out of trouble so many times is always assume the trend remains the same until proven otherwise. Proven otherwise, in this case, means a new low below March 2020. And if that happens, then I absolutely am wrong. And Bitcoin, I would go with this wave count only if that happens. And I'd say Bitcoin could be crashing to zero. But while that low remains intact, and this low as well in November 2022, while they both remain intact, I'm going to go with not this wave count. I can't show you my wave count because that's by subscription only, but it's not this. Thank you so much for watching.